Dearest friends and fellow Americans, did Donald Trump defeat Iran? Or did Iran figure out one thing Donald Trump never wants anyone else to figure out? That beneath the threats, the bombers, the missiles, beneath all the talk about overwhelming American power, Donald Trump wants nothing more than to desperately declare victory. And he wants to do it very quickly. Iran may be using that against him now. We were told Iran's nuclear program had been destroyed, obliterated. That was a year ago. We were told the strikes were devastating. We were told Iran had been brought to its knees. We were told American strength restored order. We were told there was an agreement. The Strait of Hormuz would remain open. The fighting would stop, negotiations would begin. Peace was supposedly, folks, within reach. Mission accomplished. You remember that one? Take a victory lap, roll out the banners, but look where we are now. Commercial vessels are being attacked. Iran says the Strait of Hormuz is closed. The United States says it hasn't. Iran is launching missiles and drones toward countries housing American forces now. The United States has responded by striking nearly 140 targets inside Iran. Oil prices spiking, shipping disrupted, the temporary agreement, the MOU, done. And once again, America is being pulled deeper into the Middle East. So I have a very simple question. What exactly did we win? The Rossano report is next. Welcome to the Rossano report. I am Joe Rossano. Folks, Trump's entire political brand, remember this, was built partly on the idea that he would not repeat the mistakes of the Bush era. No more endless wars, no more rebuilding foreign countries while American cities deteriorate. Everybody remember that during the election? No more wasting American blood and treasure on conflicts with no clearly defined ending. Now, millions of Americans are tired, folks, of the intervention, tired of the United States being the world's police department, which the president said he would never do. Okay. Look, folks, the Americans are tired of Iraq. They're tired of Afghanistan, tired of being told every distant conflict represented an immediate threat to American freedom. Trump understood that exhaustion better than most Republican politicians. He mocked the foreign policy establishment. He criticized the past wars, especially in Iraq. He said America should stop what? Acting like the world's police department. Couldn't have said that better myself, Mr. President. And now the United States is conducting large-scale military operations inside Iran. Iran is retaliating all over the Gulf now. Commercial shipping is under attack. Shocker. The Strait of Hormuz has become the center of international confrontation again. And nobody can tell us precisely what victory looks like. Is victory the destruction of Iran's nuclear capabilities? Is it regime change, unrestricted shipping, Iran abandoning its regional allies, a permanent peace agreement, a surrender? Now, unless you define victory, every development can be repackaged as victory. Donald Trump's made a living doing this. Bomb a facility, victory. Iran negotiates, victory. Iran violates the agreement, so we bombed them again, victory. Iran retaliates and we survive it, victory. Oil prices rise, gas costs a lot of money, but it's not as bad as we thought it was going to be, victory. The war continues, but Iran is weakened. We've sunk all their ships. We destroyed all their planes and their stockpiles and their centrifuges. Victory. At some point, the world loses. At some point, the word loses all meaning. Now, before I get into what the heck Trump's going to do here and how we're all going to react to it, I'm going to kindly ask you to please subscribe. Please click like, share, comment, click the notification bell for all the latest episodes of the Rossano Report. Did Trump successfully weaken Iran and protect American interests, folks? Or did Iran survive the initial attack, seize leverage through that darn Strait of Hormuz, and put America into another open-ended conflict? Really? Tell me what victory looks like and how we get there. I am just dying to hear this. I really am. We ask questions that both sides, quite frankly, avoid here. What was this war actually about? The official answer: Iran's nuclear program, regional aggression, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, threats against American interests and allies, legitimate concerns. But people are asking other questions. Was regime change part of this objective, Mr. President? Was control over energy routes a factor in this? How much was driven by our so-called ally in the region's security? Did officials expect Iran's government to collapse? Did anyone underestimate Iran's ability to weaponize that Strait of Hormuz that we hear about every darn day? These aren't conspiracy theories, folks. They're the questions citizens should be asking when governments request support for military action. Rumors exist on both sides. Some say the nuclear threat was exaggerated. Others say Iran was closer to a weapon than they admitted. Can't say I never heard that before. Some say regime change was actually the real goal. Others say Washington never wanted regime change because a weakened Iran justifies permanent U.S. presence. Some say oil is a central part of this issue. Not stealing it, but controlling its flow and price. Said that before, too. Some say this is our so-called ally in the region's war, and others say that Washington acted because of that ally. Put every possibility on the table, apply the same test. What evidence supports it? What evidence contradicts all of this? Who benefits from convincing us this is all true? Please tell me. Folks, think about this. What's the mission? What outcome ends this bombing? Nuclear disarmament? Free shipping? Regime change? Somebody tell me something. Put it in the comments. Has the administration defined victory? Because the only thing the administration, that's President Trump, seems to say is we won this war every day. Can you win a war with no definition of victory? Iran can still retaliate, folks. Government is still in power. Shipping is still threatened. Did strikes remove danger or did it escalate it? Who controls the darn Strait of Hormuz? President Trump says it's open. Iran says it's closed. Limited vessel movement suggests it's kind of a gray zone. Is Iran, think about this, calling President Trump's bluff? Iran knows U.S. military superiority. Why provoke it? Is Iran betting Trump avoids a ground war? Is Trump becoming what he campaigned against? Endless intervention seems to be what we're seeing here. No clear endpoint, not that I know of, and I look at this every day. Would Trump supporters accept this from a Democrat? Who knows? What role is our so-called ally in the region playing? Are the objectives aligned? Could these goals cost America more? More money, more lives? Is the nuclear issue the whole darn story? Was Iran close to a weapon? Did military action make nuclear pursuit more likely? Now, good question. Who profits? Who makes all the money off of this? Weapons manufacturers, energy producers, media companies. Where's Congress? Should Congress vote? Has presidential war power gone too far? Some ask that question. What will Americans pay? Higher fuel prices, that's for sure. Military spending, 1.5 trillion is what the president is asking for. Casualties, deployments, regional instability. You know, folks, let me end it this way. Iran was supposed to be defeated, supposedly deterred. The nuclear threat was supposedly handled, wasn't it? That's what I heard. The agreement moving us towards peace. Yet, missiles are flying all over the place over there. Ships are being attacked. Strait of Hormuz completely contested. Oil's rising. We know that. U.S. is striking Iran again and again, and nobody can explain to me how this ends. Maybe Trump's pressure works. Maybe Iran accepts restrictions. If so, Trump deserves credit. Let's give him credit where credit's due, but maybe Iran doesn't need to win militarily. I think that may have been some of your arguments. Maybe it only needs to keep the crisis alive, threaten oil, raise costs, wait for political pressure to divide America. You got the midterms coming up. Don't think the president doesn't know that. If that's the strategy, this could become longer, more expensive, and more dangerous than Washington is willing to admit. Don't let political loyalty answer the question for you. Look at the results. Ask what we were promised. Compare the promises with the reality. Demand a definition of victory. That's kind of what I want to know. If their nuclear centrifuges are destroyed, their scientists are dead, 2 levels of their leadership are dead, is that victory, Mr. President? Demand a timeline. That's what I want. I want a timeline. Demand congressional accountability. Every forever war begins with politicians insisting it won't become one. So we ask whether Trump is ending that cycle or becoming its newest chapter. As always, my dearest friends and fellow Americans, I graciously and wholeheartedly appreciate you hanging out with your pal, Joe Rossano. I will ask you again to please subscribe, like, share, comment, click the notification bell for all the latest episodes of the Rossano Report. Adopt yourselves a pet. God bless you, my dearest friends and fellow Americans, and we'll see you next time.